Hey guys, welcome back to our urban homestead. Welcome if you're new, and thanks for returning if you are not new. So today I'm going to be making, going to be canning some potatoes that have peppers and onions in them. I like these for a couple different reasons. They make a great quick little breakfast. Fry them up, add a couple eggs, you're good to go. You can turn them into little breakfast burritos. You can add them to soups. You can make potato soup. They're really just a very versatile, wonderful thing to have on your pantry shelf. And since I've never done a video on this before, I thought maybe y'all would like to see how to do it. So I've got some potatoes here. I'm going to get these peeled and I'll be right back. Real quick, if you could please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything, and make sure you give this video a like, thumbs up, or a thumbs down if you don't like it. It does really help the channel out, and I appreciate it so very much. So change of plan. I'm not going to peel them. April said that she prefers them with the skin on, so that's what we're doing. I'm just going to wash them up really well. If you don't feel comfortable doing it with the skin on, go ahead and peel them. If you are going to leave the peels on, I just suggest that you cut like little spots like that off. Okay? All right, so I'm going to be dicing these using a, I don't know, medium-ish square dicer. I've got a bowl of cold water in the sink, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna slice it in half, and then again, that way we get nice little cubes. If you do see any spots like that, or any bad spots in the potato, you do want to cut them out, and then there we go, and we've got them in little cubes. So I'm gonna go ahead and once this gets filled, I'm gonna soak them in cold water. So these have been soaking for about 20 minutes, and what I'm gonna do is fill the jars about two-thirds of the way full, because I do want to leave some room for onions and peppers. And then I'm going to fill the jar with water just so they can have an opportunity to soak again. This will also let me know if I have enough of these diced potatoes to fill all my jars, or if I need to peel some more. So surprisingly, I had just enough to fill all 16 of these pint jars. Now, I do know that a lot of people have issues with their potatoes getting cloudy, and that is because you're not getting all of that starch off of your potato. So while it is an extra step, I really do find it important for a good final product on your pantry shelf. So I'm going to fill these up with water, let them sit for 20 minutes. I'll empty the water, fill them again, let them sit for 20 minutes, and then see if there's any more starch coming off of them. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up some onions, and I have some peppers from the garden that were frozen and defrosted, and I'm just gonna chop those as well through that chopper, and we'll be back. All right, the potatoes are starch-free, and now I'm going to season them. This is purely optional. Season them with whatever you want to season them with. I'm going to use farm dust and some garlic powder. And I'm putting a heaping half teaspoon of each in. Oops. All right, and then I'm gonna add the garlic powder. Then I'm gonna take my little debubbler tool here and just kind of push these potatoes down a little bit to make some room for our peppers and onion. You don't want to pack it down like really tight or anything. I'm just basically lightly packing it down just so we have some room. And then however many peppers and onions you want to add is up to you. I usually just start with a little handful of each. Making sure that we don't go above 1 inch headspace. All right, so now the jars are filled with the potatoes, onions, and peppers. I'm going to fill these up with water right up to the neck here to the 1 inch headspace. You can certainly do chicken stock. I kind of find that to be a waste in my opinion, but you do you. I'm gonna fill these with water. Then you wanna debubble the jars, making sure that you get all that air out. And this one will need to get topped off a little because it's not quite up to that rim. And just repeat the process and fill up any gaps in your jars with water or whatever you choose to fill them with. So now that all of the jars are debubbled, I'm going to wipe the rim really well. And place my lids and bands on. So now everything is in the canner. Make sure your bands are just fingertip tight. Don't crank down on them. That will make your jars or your lids buckle, and it will give you siphoning if you do that. So I have the appropriate amount of water per the manufacturer in the canner. I'm going to turn my heat on medium because I don't want this to come out. I don't want the jars to heat up too quickly. That will make them crack. Once this comes up to temperature, it will start spouting steam out of this vent. I will set a timer for 10 minutes and I'll be back. So I've got a nice stream of steam. My timer is set for 10 minutes. My timer has went off. I use a jiggler instead of a weight. So I am putting the jiggler on. Do your own research as to what pounds for your elevation you need to use. So once it reaches my elevation and I get a nice, good, hard jiggle, I'm going to set a timer for 35 minutes. If you were doing these in quarts, you would need to do them for 40 minutes. For anyone who is curious about jigglers, I love the jiggler versus the weighted gauge that looks like this, that typically comes with a Presto pressure canner. I will link one in the description. They're super affordable and they have little different rings that go on them to determine your weight. But this little gentle rocking motion, that's what you're looking for those. You want just like a nice little gentle, you don't want it to be like shaken out of control, and you don't want it to be no motion. Like with this doesn't move at all. So like, see now the hula's getting a little faster. I'm going to turn down my heat just a bit to find that sweet spot of that nice gentle rocking motion. The canners are rocking. Don't come a knocking. Also, this weight that comes with the canner, this is a 15-pound weight, which is a little too much for my elevation, and I like the jiggler that I use because it has the little 3 rings. If you take both the rings off, that is a 5-pound weight. If you add 1 ring, that is a 10-pound weight. And then if you add the second little silver ring, that is 15. Now, there's no harm in processing your food at a higher pound per pressure. I really just prefer that. I don't know. I like the sound. I feel like it's comforting. I don't know. But I'll leave one linked in the description. Like I said, I think they're like $10 on Amazon. All right, the timer is done. Heat is off. I'm going to leave this just like it is until it reaches no pressure and my little pressure valve has popped. After that time, all I'm going to do is turn the lid so it can like kind of cool down a little bit, but not too much so it siphons and we don't have an explosion of the jars or anything like that. And then I will take them out. I do want to touch on something real quick because I see a lot of people, other channels, I'm not going to mention any names, that leave their lids on and the food in the canner until the canner is like pretty much completely cold. Now, I ain't here to tell anyone what to do, but it is my experience that you should not do that. It is my experience that that is how you get what's called flat sour, and that makes your food taste no bueno, okay? Obviously, you don't want to mess with it while it's extremely hot and under pressure. Don't do that. You also don't want to leave it in the canner overnight, like some people leave their vegetables in water overnight before they can them. Don't do that. All right, that's just a little snark from me to you. So yeah, I'll be back when I take these out of the jar, out of the canner. All right, here they are out of the canner. As you can see, now the jars are cloudy because I don't add vinegar, but the potatoes are not cloudy, and that is because I rinse them so many times with water. So I really do think these are the most versatile potato that you can have on your pantry shelf. Another thing I like to do with them is make a taco soup. So I'll open up a jar of taco meat and enchilada sauce, throw those in there, add some corn. Easy peasy dinner in like 10 minutes. Tacos, these go great in tacos. We call that picadilla. It's just another way to make that beef, that taco beef stretch. So thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, abundance and blessings to you.